Quan Yin, speaking from the garden. Open the hearts. Open the vibration of the rose petals, the flower petals that rain down on you. I am Quan Yin, standing whole with the aspects of the goddess on the earth. I am Quan Yin, standing with another earth goddess like myself who had incarnated in form. I incarnated, as you know, in China, as Miao Shen. And that story, the story of my father sacrificing me, is in the books historically, not 100% correct, but in essence enough to understand compassion and the birth of compassion from the pain of rejection, from the pain of sacrifice, from the pain of rejection of the divine feminine. Now we speak to all of you in male and female forms. The aspect of the goddess that is with me this evening, who is also incarnated, her famous incarnation that you know was that in Jerusalem. Mary Magdalene, during the age of Lord Sananda, of the one who walked the earth as Jesus the Christ. She has spoken to you in your hearts. She has spoken to many of you recently, individually. I allow her to speak now. I am Quan Yin with you and the flowers of the garden. You are the flowers of my heart, the children of my heart, the compassionate ones. I am Quan Yin. I am the Magdalene. I was the sacrifice of the Piscean age in the female form. I was the savior of the Piscean age in the female form. I was the one who took the stoning and the condemning into my body, who took the rejection. I was the one who paid for being individualistic, who paid for being in my power, who paid for it for all of you, as the Christ paid for with his body and blood for all of you. The sacrifice was not one of great sorrow and pain, although sorrow and pain were involved in the process for those who looked on. We understood our transformation. Our sacrifices were sacrifices of transformation, so that each and every one of you could transform in this age. You are the saviors of yourself in this age. And so now, the female martyr is being thrown off, and own it within your own being. Many of you are releasing the martyr self. You do not have to be the one that bears the brunt of your family's needs. You do not have to be the one that takes on the burdens of your business, of your home, of your children, of your partners. This old sacrificial, this old martyrdom self, this old savior self in the divine feminine form leaves now. Cast it off your being and into the center of the circle. Own it. Brush it off your shoulders, off your back. Get rid of it. You are no longer the sacrifice to your ex-husband. You are no longer the sacrifice to your father. You are no longer the sacrifice to corporations. You are no longer sacrificed for being the virgin. You are no longer the virgin sacrifice. The virgin in its entirety is the untouched female, is the female who stayed empowered during the times of ownership of the divine feminine. There was no real ownership, but the illusion was there, was it not? Wives were owned by masters. Women were owned by men. Women were fought over, stolen, and so on and so forth. They were kept as chattel. That has fallen away on your planet. When we refer to women and the feminine, the independent feminine, we also refer to the intuition inside yourself, the creative force inside you, your inner feminine, your divine knowing. It has been expressed in people's intuition, in peoples who have stood against the norm, who have walked their own paths, who have been independent. It has been crushed out of the earth essence through inquisitions, through burnings, through witch hunts, so on and so forth. You will see the ugly faces of this rearing up again, trying to scare you. Take a breath. Do not retaliate to fear with fear. Do not retaliate to anger with anger. Do not retaliate to hatred with hatred. Do not retaliate to bias and prejudice with bias and prejudice. Open the hearts and be whole. I am Mary Magdalene. I will be close to your earth at this time. You will hear channelings from me. Many of you will be drawn to reading about me, meditating with me, listening to me. I am speaking to you of the martyrdom self that you are releasing, and all of you are not exempt from this release. All of you have hold a martyr self somewhere within your being. Own it, release it. You will be lighter. Light will shine brighter. Your truth will resonate stronger. Your vibration will be felt in your families, in your life, in your streets, in your cities, in your world. Draw your breath in. I am Mary Magdalene. I stood with the master of that age. The old writings hold me in a position of supposition. The old writings of supplication. The old writings hold me in a lowly position of outcast, of horror. I was equal, and I knew it. I was a divine master in my right, and that is released in this age energetically, historically, to consciousness, to intelligence. That is released. And so there have been stories about who I was and my power, my teaching at the side of the master, my mastery as the divine feminine one. And so that aspect of me has been released and now is being released in the fifth and sixth dimension. As the sixth dimension vibration comes into your earth, and the fifth dimensional vibration that you have been able to hold very well through the gift of the garden. The gift of the garden will also allow you to hold the sixth vibration when you are irritated from it, when you are wonky from it, when you are rattled from it, when you are spacey from this energy coming at you, towards you, in you, up you. Come to the garden. Call on Mary Magdalene. Call on Quan Yin. We will be there. We will be there to laugh with you, to soothe with you, to help you find your power again. It is like threads on a loom. So many fine threads, like the hairs on your head, and even finer, like the webs of a spider. The spider never tangles her web. There are those that get entangled in her web, but she does not. The divine creator does not tangle the web. Those who have lost their way get tangled in their own web. Go back to the center. Be like the spider. Go back to the center. Take those threads up again. You can find a way to unknot them in the garden. When you relax and flow in your being, the threads unknot in your reality. Imagine for a moment every single being that is incarnated on the earth now sitting in the garden, contemplating with me, Mary Magdalene, contemplating with the angels, contemplating with each other, contemplating and watching the water sparkle, watching the dewdrops on leaves and the flower petals, breathing in the fragrance of the earth, the garden, the mulch, breathing it all in as one in divine unity. Then there are no problems. The solutions happen. Yes, many of you will bend your minds and your shoulders, your expertise and your talents to being part of the solutions that the earth children need. At the same time, your etheric resonance and vibration has a great force, a great transformational force on your planet. Know this, trust this, be this. I am Mary Magdalene speaking to you all. I am Mary Magdalene. So, it is important that you call on me to release whatever remnant of martyr, our Savior, is left in thee. Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, help me see how to set myself free from these old illusions of divinity. Indeed, you thought that being a sacrifice, that being a martyr, that being a savior was the path to divinity. In fact, at times you were taught this. No, no, no. Divinity is found in you being you. Divinity is found in you being with you. Divinity is found in the moment, in the raindrops in the garden. I am Mary Magdalene. I bless you and leave you this evening.